Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do an updated classroom tour. I did one of these last summer and people seem to quite like having a little nose around my classroom, so I thought I'd do another one today. My classroom's going to be Bali this year, so my peg is here. I've made myself and all the children the same peg labels, but I've just covered up my name because it's got my surname on it. Same with the two signs as you come in. These were gifts from parents, children, in my first year and my second year of teaching. And then I've put the name Bali on the door, and the Bali display is actually up there. Now, please excuse the mess in the classroom. I'm just shutting the door. Please excuse the mess in the classroom. We haven't had our deep clean yet, but I don't know if I'll get a chance to film it once it's been done. So if I start at the door, I have got this twinkle display here about what the children are when they enter the classroom. This was on here last year. Oh, there's a massive fly there. That's not a spider, that is a fly. Oh, I'm going to cover that up. Oh, that's hideous. But I'm not sure that I like this, to be honest. I've just kind of left it for now, and there's nothing else on the door there. This is exactly the same as last year. This is my English wall. The only difference is I've actually finally taken down all the blue tack that was, fingers all over the place, that was all stuck up on the wall, and we've managed to get a good enough ladder now for me to get that down. So this is where I put all my English bits, and then I have my little connective caterpillars. They're new, so they're just little words the children can come and take off. They're just blue tacked on if they want to use a conjunction in their writing, and then these are just various different things that we use within our work that we're hosting and needs to go in the bin. So it's nice and clean, but I've kept the paper from last year. Around the board is very similar. I've actually moved the trays now, so the reason the chairs are stacked there is because it's got the children's names on those trays. So I've got one set of children's names there, and then these ones are my trays. You can see I've got the guided reading stuff, some maths resources and phonics resources here. So that I don't think was here last year. I've moved that around. I've taken the card from behind it down just to make it a bit brighter. So I've got a few bits around the board, and then across the top of the board I've got the days of the week. Around the top of the board I've got the months of the year on these cupcakes. I've had these a long time. I'm not sure that they were up last year, but the days of the week definitely were. And then we've got these new bubbles that everybody's got on their boards about how the children use the different pens, how we use the different marking pens, marking code, my whistle behind there. I have a new snazzy computer. You can see my fruit bowl peeking out there. And then this is the same as last year. So this is my station, and then it's next to the maths wall. So this is all the same. I haven't changed this maths wall at all. I've just tidied it up a little bit. And then here, almost all of these things I had up last year. I haven't got any new hanging bits from the children this year. That's my old peg label up there. You can see the little Japan one because that was my classroom last time. Again, I've just covered up my name. This is a frame that a parent made me a couple of years ago now. Hogwarts wasn't hiring, so I teach Muggles instead. I absolutely love it. And then this is just where this is like my command centre, I suppose. This is just where I keep like the lunch club tickets, certificates, random stuff, my planning and whatnot. And then behind the computer, I've got these little pots here. So I've got the one on the right used to be a candle, and when it finished burning down, I kept it and I used it as my pen pot. And the one next to it I was bought this year. Thank you for being a star teacher. Now, I don't really drink a lot of tea at work because, to be honest, I just don't have time to make it, and then you're not supposed to have mugs like this around the children because of health and safety in case you scald them. So rather than take it home, I decided to use it. We have lollipop sticks with the children's name on, so if you want like a job done or you want a question answered, you can use one of those to choose somebody fairly. So that's where I'm going to be putting those. They were in just like a plastic cup before, and I've always got some hand cream next to my desk because honestly I need it. Under the desk is the same as before. I've just got these trays. I've got some of my bits in, an iPad box, the iPad's in the cupboard, my highlighters and things, and some planning folders down there. And then these are my trays. So this is my stationery, all my folders, display bits. There's also the whiteboards and scissors for the children, but most of that's my stuff there. And then I have my paper trimmer lives on top. And then my flip chart lives here. It kind of hides the sink a little bit because the sinks are nasty. It's a very old building, these ones. Excuse the bits that I've just washed up. But that's sort of just behind there, and I just try and use my flip chart to hide it. And then I keep all my paints and stuff like down here because I don't like keeping them in the cupboard. And then this wall now, I have to back right up, is our second topic. This is going to be our Roald Dahl topic. So the title of it is The Splendiferous Stories of Roald Dahl. And then I've made a paper mache peach, and then cut out loads of birds and attach them to the peach with ribbon. I've had to hang the peach with fishing line and try to copydex it to the wall. All of the Roald Dahl characters that you can see I drew. I'll come in and show you them in a bit better detail in a second. So I drew them, cut them out, coloured them, laminated them, cut them again, and then I did that a couple of years ago and I've kept them. And then in the spaces I've just kept some of the Roald Dahl books there. The bit at the bottom isn't wallpaper, it's like a picture that I found that I just printed loads and loads of times and then paper pieced it across the wall. Took a little while, but I think the effect's lovely. It's like a library. And then I found these quotes on Twinkle. Again, I'll zoom in on those now and show you. I just wanted to sort of give you an overview of the wall. So you've got this quote from Matilda. Actually, that's not from Matilda. It's got Matilda at the bottom, but that quote's actually from the Twits. That's when they're talking about Mrs. Twit. And then you've got this one here. And that's just my little coming soon sign. And we've got this one here. Love that quote. And then another one about magic. Just there, little magic can take you a long way. And then, as I say, I'll just show you all the little characters that I drew. And they're just all up here. Unfortunately, Mr. Fox got a little bit eaten by the laminating machine. But he's lived to see another day. But I'm missing Mr. and Mrs. Twit. I had them years ago, but I don't know what's happened to them, so I need to redo those. So at some point I'm going to have to redraw Mr. and Mrs. Twit. The image I used was them standing on their heads. That's my favourite one. And then I love this quote here, but from the BFG. "We is in dream country," the BFG said. "This is where all dreams is beginning." And there's a lot of talk recently about whether or not the BFG was dyslexic, or supposedly so, from Roald Dahl, and I think that's really nice to promote, because we do obviously have, everybody has dyslexic children in their classrooms at some point. And it's just nice for them to kind of see that, and also just for children to see that spellings can be wrong sometimes. Roald Dahl, like, we made up splendiferous stories for our title, because that's what Roald Dahl does, isn't he? He makes up words all the time. My science wall, same place. I've done it red this time. There's a lot of blue and green on this wall. Red sort of breaks it up. And then I've got all the key vocabulary round ready for that to start in September. I've just got some trays here. This is generally where the children come and put their water bottles in the morning and turn in any work or show and tell and things just in that back tray there. I've just used it for now. And this box doesn't normally live here. I haven't got any room for it at the minute. Then I've got a couple of quotes here. So this one from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the left, I love. "So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away, and in its place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall." And I think that's such an important message at the minute. How many children, all they want to do is play on their iPads, their Xbox, etc., and they just don't want to read. And I just try and promote reading as much as possible. For those that enjoy it, obviously we don't force it on the children, but we try and promote it as much as possible. And I've got this one here that says, "Books aren't just words. They're also filled with places to visit and people to meet." And those are next to my reading area. Now you'll notice a theme, a Roald Dahl theme down here as well. The pillows that you can see at the back, the cushions, I made those on my first year of teaching. I think they were in here in my last classroom tour. The ones at the front, these ones with the quotes on, I bought on eBay, and so did that Wonka golden ticket, because I just wanted a little bit more. Had some Harry Potter ones in here, but I just wanted to keep it Roald Dahl only. So that's what those cushions look like. And as I say, the plain ones at the back are the ones I made. I bought this little storage thing from H&M. I bought that sort of mid-year because there were teddies everywhere. And then I narrowed down the teddies so that they just fit in there. And that's where, as I say, the children can just take a teddy when they want to read. And down here, same as before, I've got some blankets. And the children love just sort of making themselves up a little bed of pillows, grabbing some blankets and then reading. So this is where we keep our chapter books. I've got a whole box for Roald Dahl now because obviously that's one of our topics, and some fiction books on the side. And then here's the rest of the books. So these are our banded books, so based on the level the children are on, but we don't use them as much, to be honest, now. And we've got non-fiction and then just a variety of fiction, poetry, and then these boxes at the top, these are my books. So these are ones that I've bought. Some of them are topic books. So, for example, we do the Great Five London as one of our topics. So I have, I'm about to destroy it. 1 second. I have a book at the back all about the Great Five London. We've done Lila and the Secret of the Rain. That was a really nice book when we did Africa as a topic. And yeah, the children can take from those. If we do like a class story, they're welcome to take from those ones, and I read them to them. It just makes them a little bit special. I think I explained that last time as well. This is where they keep their books. I need to put the covers on, but they're all labelled up and ready to go. And then above, as I said, my class this year is going to be Bali. And whenever you type Bali into Google, this kind of image of this shrine comes up. And I've tried to recreate it. So I printed off some underwater pictures from Google and created that. Cut the grass by hand, cut the mountains by hand, and then to make the clouds and the trees, I've used foil. So there's a technique where you put paint in like a shallow tray, scrunch up a ball of foil, and then like dab it on, and it creates a bit like a sponge, but it's a bit more mottled. So the trees are actually with 3 different colours of green, and they just have a really nice effect, and I hand drew all the branches and stuff on. So that's ready for work now, and then as I said, I did the same thing with the white, the foil, and then my TA, she's amazing, she created that. I said to her, I want some jasmine leaves, I want you to cut them out and make the word Bali, and fabulous, she's absolutely amazing, that's what she did for me. And the shrine, what I did was I put it up on my board that's up there, froze it, and then traced around, and then I did all the detailing myself, but I just kind of traced around the edge from the picture. So that should be kind of the shape it is in real life. But I did all sort of the detailing myself because, well, it was way too complicated what they had. And then I made like a little bridge here with some ribbon and some stone paper. I just cut them to the shapes that I wanted. I mean, look how long I had to spend doing the ribbon for that. Whew. Ribbon. This continues my book area here. I've got this radiator here where I've got Hogwarts. I drew that about 18 months ago now, and it's still going strong. I refuse to take it off. I just absolutely adore looking at it. Took me ages. I drew it on the back of the paper because that's white, turned it over, and then I added yellow and white paint to the front to make the detailing for the windows and things. I did copy a picture that I found online, but I did hand draw it. Absolutely loved that. And then I've got some quotes about reading around the outside. And then this is our Bloom's taxonomy. Sorry, it's because it's quite a nice day, the light's a bit poor now. And that's just got questions that we can ask when we're reading with the children. And then these are just some of their favourite characters. My class just gone, so I need to kind of make them a bit brighter. No, sorry, I can't. Oh, no, I've made that worse. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have fiddled. I need to replace those with ones from my current class when they come up to me in September. PSH is in the same place. I've also kept it yellow because I just think it's nice and bright. The pants it's an NSPCC rule. I'm not sure if I explained that before, but you're probably wondering why I've got the word pants written twice. It's a way of children knowing that their privates are private, and each letter stands for something. If you've got young children, I highly recommend looking at the NSPCC pants range because it's just amazing. Oh, I've got a wonky thing down here. I need to adjust that in a minute. And then that's just our behaviour expectations for the school. I've got these worry monsters. I bought 3 of these in the works. I think I explained that last year as well. My head loved them so much that she actually bought them for the entire school, and I got an extra one. So that's why there are 4 worry monsters, because you know me, if you watch any of my hauls, I'll buy one of everything, and that's what I did. I've just got some really nice sort of positive quotes here, because this is the PSHE, this is the worry centre, so I just try and think, so it says here, don't worry about things on your own, tell us all about it, and that's to do with the worry monsters. And then because you probably can't read them, and that quote at the top says, dream the impossible and make it possible. The Winnie the Pooh one says, promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Then I've got this one here that says Hakuna Matata. Lion King is my favourite, so I definitely had to include that somewhere. And I used to have a reading area that was galaxy themed, which is why those 2 are like on galaxies. And then I've got here, it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not to try, just to kind of promote resilience. And then that's the same Roald Dahl quote that is on one of the posters over there, but I already had this one up, so I just left the 2. And another Roald Dahl quote, you can see why I've chosen Roald Dahl as a topic, can't you? He's my favourite. Somewhere inside all of us is the power to change the world, and I just love that one. I've kept this radiator quite plain this time. I'm not sure if I'm going to back it. I was tempted to make it look like the French flag and put blue, white and then red, but I haven't done anything at the minute. French isn't compulsory in Key Stage 1, but as a school we are starting to promote it better. And our first topic is the numbers to 20, which is why I've got them across. And I found this on a website called TES, which is brilliant. You get a lot of free resources on there. And I love how they've used the little French flag to show how many that number means. I thought that was really clever. I've still got some phonics bits up around the window. I haven't taken them down. I've left them as they are. Please excuse this bag. I'm just going to move it out of shot because I'm going to open the cupboard in a second. It's just loads of reading resources that I need to sort through. On top of the cupboard, I have all my folders. Again, if you know me, you know I love a rainbow. There's my rainbow folders. Some of them are really, because I've had them about 4 years now, the colours kind of going now. And then that is my cupboard. I'll give you a sneaky peek inside there in a minute, but it's really, really messy. And I have a plan for it. That's my wedge, that if I take a group out, I can take that. It's a whiteboard that is portable. The reason there's 5 footballs, I only had 25 in my class. I bought a box of footballs as their end of year gift. I gave them some other bits as well, but one of their gifts was footballs. Said to my dad, can you blow these up for me? I only need 25. My mum insisted I needed 30s, and I've got 5 footballs. Not quite sure what to do with them at the minute. This is my Great Fire of London Wall. This is the first topic that we're going to be doing. Some of this stuff I've got from last year, like the little boats I've kept from last year, and the bubbles I've kept, the words down the side I have. I've made the river myself using tissue paper. I really like how that's come out. And what I do in the first week is I take pictures of all the children, print them off really small and laminate them. And then I put them in the little boats so it looks like they're escaping. And then what I did last year is the children made houses that we put along here. And then I've got LED lights I plug in over here, weave them through the houses with tissue paper flames. I will try and get, if anyone's interested, then message me or whatever, and I can always get a picture once I've done that in September, or maybe find the picture from before. Just comment below. I've got some French classroom instructions that can probably move over there now, but they're up there at the minute. And I've got a child that needs a separate workstation this year, so we've set up this table. This is where the lady that works with him would like it to be, so we're going to see if that works for him. He doesn't always need the table by himself, but it's just useful to have it in the room. And that is, I think that's everything actually in the classroom that I've shown you. As I say, I did show you inside my cupboard last year, and it was probably a lot neater. I've got loads of stuff like shoved in here this year. We've had to keep more than we normally do. Oh, sorry, excuse the keys. It's for the iPad cabinet, that's what I'm in charge of. So if I just go through this quickly, I've got some folders that are important, and then these are all like textbooks and things that I use when I'm planning. There's arithmetic books that we photocopy for the children, etc., etc., and some Fiskars templates if I need shapes. My extra baskets just live up here. I've got some notebooks, and these are reading resources and SATs resources because I am in year 2. That's full of chalk. And then this is my LSA's folders. She just wants somewhere to keep them, so they stay up there. This is my guided reading shelf. So it has actually got some Let's Think maths things here and some SATs papers, but then generally it's all guided reading books and my guided reading basket. Now this, I use loads of different resources when I'm reading with the children. So we've got wands, and then we've got little lollipop sticks with eyes stuck on them. Excuse my nail varnish, I've been doing displays all day, they're just ruined. I've got little finger lights like this that they can use when they're reading. Making a mess. There's bingo dabbers, cocktail stirrers, gems that they can earn as rewards, magnifying glasses, resources, and all sorts in here. If you're interested in the kind of activities I do with those, if you've got young children, you kind of want to know what I do with those, then please feel free to message and just ask. There's also some googly eyes, and there's some monsters somewhere. Where are my monsters? Are they on this side? Where are my monsters? Aha, they were down here. Little finger monsters that I use. And then little emotion people. All sorts of bits and pieces in there. So I'm just going to shove that out of the way for a minute and come back to the cupboard. The cupboard of doom, I feel like, at the minute. My treasure chest has got the remaining finger lights and finger monsters in, because I bought like boxes of like 200 of them. Each Christmas, children generally get a finger light and a monster as part of their gift. I've got some iPads I need to sort out, and my laminator lives in here. I've got some English resources. These folders are in here because of that massive bag of reading stuff, so that doesn't normally live there. This shelf is normally completely clear, and I love having an empty shelf. It just makes me happy. But I've got loads of newspaper here at the minute, some spare baskets that I'm going to offer out in the staff room. And then we've had to keep some books behind this year. A child left and they haven't come back to collect their books. That's all at the top. These are a couple of bits of my LSA's that's gone up to another year group that she needs to come and collect. And then these books are here if we get Ofsted come in at the beginning of the year. And they'll be gone in the first couple of weeks. So once I've got rid of this bag and those, and then after the first couple of weeks, that shelf should be almost clear, and that makes me quite happy. I've got my school fleece just living in here at the minute, out of the way. That's the dice and shape storage that I shared recently. I bought that in the range. I've got some cleaning products and like a diffuser and things like that. Some stationery. These are our like high-vis jackets and the Twitter bands. We've got children that can't go on like social media when we take pictures and we tweet as a school, so they wear the bands. Extra pens, resources for like sensory toys. And then down here I've got my felt tips, my fabric, glue sticks, and some laminating pouches and some card. And then down here is art supplies, so I've got lots of metallic paints and paints that are mine, that aren't school ones, that I want to keep separate to the ones under the sink. These are like watercolours, charcoals, pastels, sketch pencils, paintbrushes, that sort of thing. In here are kind of weird resources that I've kind of collected over the years. So I've got felt, I've got some rice that we made a sensory tray out of. There's Play-Doh, there's glitter, there's googly eyes, there's plain rice, all sorts of things that we generally need in DT. Same with this one, it's really messy at the minute, but it's got things like cotton buds, cotton wool, my hot glue gun, foil, plastic cups, plastic cutlery, sellotape, masking tape, what else is in there, ribbon, some Velcro down the back there, and that sort of stuff. But what I want to do in here is, you can see I use these Wham baskets, and they're all different colours, and I really liked that at the beginning. I liked the fact that they were all different colours, and now it just stresses me out. So what I've decided to do is, I found them in the range the other day, was it the range? In like a mint colour and a grey, and they're absolutely beautiful. So I've decided to, I'll better put this away, I've decided to replace them with just the two colours, and I think it will look just so much nicer in there. I will put it on like the community tab if I come around to doing that at some point. I will show you what it looks like. And this little bag I got, this is from America. You can't actually get them in the UK. I've got that one, and I've got like a smaller version of it. I can't remember the name of the brand that do these. Does it say on there? Everything Mary. And they're really useful little bags, actually, little like craft totes. Wish they did them in the UK. But yeah, so that is essentially my classroom. I can't get this in now, one-handed. There we go. So that's essentially my classroom. Little whiz back over. And as I say, really happy with that rolled down Bali displays. I think they look really beautiful. And I love the fact that we've got these really high Victorian ceilings and these really big windows. I mean, look, the weather's just beautiful out there today. So yeah, sorry, that's quite a long video, and I probably have rambled, and I apologise if I have. But I hope you enjoyed having a little sneaky peek around. I'll see you in my next video, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.